On the chat, if you scroll down, kind of look down at the bottom of the row on your computer, you'll see a chat option icon. Click on that and let us know where you're calling in from. So Michael, good morning from Deer Valley. Jennifer, we have someone from Mexico on the line. Good morning. Good morning, Scottsdale Mesa. Let us know where you're from. Jason from Mesa. Good morning, Jason. Good to see you. Stacy from Cave Creek. Let us know where you're from. And also let us know where, what kind of job and position you're looking for. So we are very interested in helping you get there. And so your name, where you're coming from, and also the type of position you're looking for. Later, or we could do this anytime, but sometime this morning, go ahead and jump over to your LinkedIn profile and pull your URL from your LinkedIn profile and drop that in the chat. That allows us to connect with each other, and you want to make sure you make it clickable. So make sure it's a full URL, because we can't copy anything in the chat box. So if you make it a clickable URL, we can all go and just click directly onto it and connect with you on LinkedIn. So connect with each other, make this as much of a networking morning as you can. So, oh, great. I see, just even since I asked you guys to start dropping things, 34 new messages have come up. So great job. Keep it going. Let us know where you're from, the job you're looking for, and drop in your LinkedIn profile. Thanks for doing that, Roger, Paul, Bill, Vicky, Kitty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Sheila's going to take it from here for just a minute and give us some tech information.
Okay, good morning. Hi, I'm Sheila Colum, and if you're having any trouble with your sound, or if you're viewing on Facebook Live, I put the meeting ID there, because if you're on Facebook, you might want to pop over to Zoom so you can be part of our chat. If you are having trouble, there's our Career Connectors line. You can text for help, 480-442-5806. And you can control your screen on your end. You can control where the speaker's video appears or how many of the videos. We're hoping that as many of you as are comfortable, go ahead and turn on your video screen so we can smile and say hello. It makes us feel a little bit more connected. Jessica already talked about we can't copy paste out of the chat, and hopefully that won't be a problem, because we have an amazing blogging team that is blogging the event. So in a few days on our website, a lot of the information that you hear today will be captured. So don't worry about that. Just worry about connecting with people while you're here. If there is any kind of problem in the chat, just to let you know, we will close down the event, turn off the chat, and come back in. So hopefully we won't have any issues, but if we do, just know that we will continue the event. We'll just pop off, pop back in, and finish it out. So I think that's it. We're already Facebook Live.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So let's see. This morning, we have a great day today. So you are going to be hearing from Miriam Spinner on how to shine using LinkedIn. And then we have a couple hiring companies today, Freedom Financial Network and also Hotfoot Recruiters. And so it's a great morning. You're going to learn a lot of information. As Miriam says, get your paper and pencil ready. We will be blogging all of the content today. So we'll have that posted usually within 2 days. So anything you missed or don't get written down, or if you're just really concentrating on the program today, then we will have all of that written down for you. Also, we will post this event on our website at careerconnectors.org later today. So you can go back and review anything you would like as well. All right, and then that last couple minutes, we'll be doing some I'll be sharing some resources, things you can utilize while you're in career transition. And so we'll close it out that way. All right, great job, you guys, on keeping that chat going and getting all your information in there. If you can see the LinkedIn URLs on this chat, click on them and connect with people. Kevin Gazzara, I just saw your name pop up. Welcome. I haven't seen you in a long time. I'm just so excited all the people we're seeing this morning. So just click on the URLs and we will connect with you, connect with each other. The hiring companies are on the line this morning. Feel free to chat with them as well. And then any questions that you have for Miriam or Liz or Heather today, feel free to drop those in the chat. We have a moderator watching the chat, and we will be asking those questions throughout the presentation today. So we want to make sure that you feel that you're getting all the value you can out of today. So I would like to introduce you to our awesome friend, Miriam Spinner. She has been a fantastic volunteer for us for quite a long time now. She grew up in the outskirts of Detroit near the now famous 8 Mile Road. She pursued an education in industrial engineering and worked at an auto plant in which she was one of only 3 female engineers. With her 30-year career working for Fortune 500 companies in various risk, privacy, and project management leadership roles, Miriam knows how to help people grow and develop in their professional careers. She left the corporate world to pivot and secure her coaching certification from the gold standard International Coaching Federation. She now helps professionals find their career shifts. She is a PMP, CIPP, Six Sigma Black Belt, and ACC certified. Her favorite quote is, "Life begins at the end of your comfort zone," by Neil Walsh. Miriam practices what she preaches with an unwavering commitment to personal and professional growth. She stretches herself by cycling 100 miles in 5 hours, returns to school mid-career, and challenges her clients to hike on the path of purpose and passion. And she has been a phenomenal volunteer, just a heart of service. And we're so glad to have our friend here. Please help me welcome Miriam Spinner. Hi. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Okay. Just gonna go ahead and share. Okay, can you see?
She's just getting her presentation flipped over, so she'll be there in just a sec. Good morning for all of you that are logging in while we're working through this. Good morning. Go ahead and drop your name, your type of job, and your LinkedIn URL right into the chat box. You can see, you can connect with people all day today.
It's not sharing.
How you doing, Miriam? Are we having a little tech?
Yeah, it's not. Can you see my screen?
Nope.
Nope.
It's not.
Good morning. We're working through just a brief tech issue. We should have this up in just a second. Okay.
No, I just made it so we can see everyone for a minute while we're chatting.
Wow.
This is a treat. We don't usually get to see everybody's faces. So good morning, everyone.
Oh, yay!
Okay.
There you go.
All right, are we ready to roll?
Right.
Okay. All right, well, thanks for everyone. We're ready to roll? We're good, right?
We're good.
You're on.
Okay. All right, well, hey, everybody. Thanks for everyone for, I just wanted to thank you before I start for arranging this webinar. Jessica, Sheila, and the whole family at Career Connectors. You guys are awesome. So
Family, I love that.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be here. And by the way, this is one of my favorite organizations. So this is an honor for me to be here with all of you. So before I start, I just want to say, I know it feels really tough out there right now. And for some of you, I know it can feel really challenging, but let's celebrate your showing up to this webinar. And as Mr. Rogers says, in times of a crisis, let's look for the helpers. So in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to be your LinkedIn helper. Okay. Okay, so a couple things before we start. I just want to do some housekeeping items. So for one, what I'd like you to do is, and we all get distractions. So to make our time more effective, if you've got your LinkedIn app on your smartphone, go ahead and launch it, because we're going to work together while I'm giving you some good information. And also go ahead and put your profile up so we can navigate it through together. And another housekeeping item is that I like to shout out my favorite resources. So I think what we're going to do is I'll shout out the resource. Maybe won't be able to enter the chat. If we can enter the chat, that'd be great. But don't worry about it. You'll get a document that's got all the resources later, so you won't miss anything. And during my talk, well, one of the things I love to do is I like to have fun. So there is going to be a prize at the end. I've got a question, so listen up and you'll hear it at the end. Oh, by the way, I also wanted to say that if we don't get to all your questions, no worries, go ahead. If there's a question I need to answer, I'll go ahead and answer it on my LinkedIn profile. So go ahead and connect with me. Okay, so before you get started on LinkedIn, a couple of points I want to mention. Point number one, this is a perfect time to figure out where you want to go next. It's kind of like you're getting in the car and you're driving, you turn on the ignition, where are you going? So do you want to stay in your current profession? Do you want to cross industries? Or let's say, for example, you're a project manager and you're in health and you want to go ahead and cross over into the financial industry. Or do you want a role that gives you just financial security, right? I want a job, I want to get paid. Or also know what are your deal breakers? Are there some things that you just absolutely will not take? And I want to do a shout out right now, my 3 favorite resources on this. And this is when you just want to dig in, you don't want to, you're trying to figure out what you want to do next. And the first one is called Pivot. It's a book, it's by Adam Markle. And his last name is Markele. And don't worry, we've got the bloggers to capture this. The second is a book called Switchers. And it's by Dr. Dawn Graham. I love her. She's actually, she does a radio, she's a radio host every Thursday. She's amazing. And then the last resource I want to shout out is called Design Your Work Life. It's a workbook. And what I like about that is they actually give you exercises. And it's by Bill Burnett and Dave Evans. And they're from Stanford. So that's a really cool, another cool book to work on. Okay, here's point number 2. This is a tough road and there's plenty of bumps and stops. So identify your milestones and celebrate them. And they could be really small. And one of the things I always tell my clients, when you go to an interview and whether you got, or whether you pass the next interview or not, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and celebrate. So we can celebrate today. This is your first milestone. You're showing up. And actually, we're going to celebrate later, aren't we? Okay, here's my next point. This 95% of the recruiters and the hiring managers, they go to LinkedIn to try to find you. So LinkedIn is where the party is at. So if you want to be found, make sure that you start with your profile. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, so you're in the car. The engine's running. You know where you're going. Now you need a GPS to get there. So I'm going to talk about 3 areas here. 3 hacks I'm going to give you. One is to be searchable. So this is where you want to make sure that you want to make sure that you're optimizing your profile. You've got a star rating. I'm going to go through that in a minute. I'm going to show you actually a tool that recruiters use to try and find you. And the second one is be a magnet. So this is where it's all about optimizing your profile, making sure that you are your profile is attractive and people want to actually stop the scroll and actually learn more about you. And the third, this is my favorite. This is all about being a driver. And this is the hardest one actually. And this is where I think people struggle with. And that's about, okay, you've got your profile all set, you're ready to go. Now you've got to go to the party, you got to open the door and you got to go in there and you got to start meeting people. And I think people really get stuck in this piece. And I actually had a recent client where he secured a role recently, a senior role during the pandemic. And I asked him, I said, what was one word that would describe what helped you secure this role? And he used the word driver. He said it was because it was about being consistent, it's about being committed, and it was about investing your time. All right, now I'm going to go over the first one, which is how to people find you? How do the recruiters and hiring managers find you? And this is an example of a tool that's used by recruiters. And what they do, these are the things that they're looking for when they're trying to find you. So if you take a look on the left-hand side, see where it says program manager. These are the keywords. So these are the keywords that they're going to enter when they're trying to find you. So for example, if you are a project manager, then you're going to want to make sure that on your profile, you're sprinkling those keywords. In this example, they used program manager. He or she also wanted to find a program manager or project manager in the San Francisco Bay Area. So I want to give you a resource right now, which I love to do. And this it's a job scan resource. They've got so many a great list of keywords, and it's a link, and you'll get it. You'll get it in my resource list again, or in the blog. So don't worry about getting it now. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next thing that you need to think about is, are you active on LinkedIn? Are you posting? Are you commenting? Are you sharing? That's what this next piece is all about. So you see where it says the 129, there's 100, based on the search, 129 are active on LinkedIn. Are you sharing? One of the things that I like to do very often is comment. I love commenting. In fact, if you look at my profile right now, I just commented an hour ago. I did, I think, 2 or 3 comments. So take a look at those comments, take a look at what I write and how I share value. It's like having a conversation. You're just doing it in a digital space. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one is, this one I'm going to talk a little bit more in a bit. This is the button for opening to new opportunities. So I want to show you what it looks like. But I also want to tell you, they changed this one recently. Now what LinkedIn will do is they're going to ask you if you want to share it with all the LinkedIn members or just the recruiters. So if you pick all LinkedIn members, then you're going to get that green frame. So if you've seen anybody with a green frame, it's because they chose share with all LinkedIn members. I'm going to show it to you in a minute so you can actually see a view of that. All right, let's go to the next one. Engaging with your talent brand. So this is something else to think about. Are you following the company that you're interested in, that you're applying for? So let's say I work for American Express and I'm a hiring manager in American Express. Well, I want to see if you're following my company. And it's really simple. You just go to the American Express page and you follow. And oh, by the way, comment. I mean, you can like, but it's better to comment. And one of the things I get asked all the time is, how often should you comment on a company's page? And it's not about frequency. It's about consistency. And it's also about how you're adding value to the conversation. So this takes 30 seconds out of your week or a minute to just put your name out there and set yourself apart. Okay. Now I want to go into how you get the searchable tips. Let me just okay, now I want to go into these another searchable tip, and that is to be an all-star. So what I want you to do is, all-star gives you just fantastic search engine optimization, right? It's about what LinkedIn does is, the algorithm says, one of the first things it says is, are you an all-star? So if you're an all-star, it helps you, or when people are finding you, it helps you be a searchable and as a priority, right? You want people, when they're searching you, you want your profile to pop up first. So go ahead and make sure, if you take a look on your smartphone, on the bottom, it's hard to see here, it says all-star. Now, if you're not an all-star, here's the good news. LinkedIn will tell you what to do to get an all-star. All you have to do is click on these bars. So I had a client recently that he didn't have an all-star rating, and it was because he didn't have a present role. So what we did was we entered in his temporary role. He was working for a retail outlet while he was looking. So he just entered his temporary role in there, and then he immediately became an all-star. Now, if you're laid off, or if you have, you have a couple of options of how to fill that present role. One option is you can go ahead and fill in that temporary role, just like I did with my client. Another one you could do is you could say poised for a role in, and then you can shout out your skills. And another option for you in that present role is if you're volunteering, you can write the organization that you're volunteering for, and then shout out the skills that you're using in that role. Okay, how are we doing, Jessica and Sheila? We're doing okay?
We're doing great.
All right. All right, so let's go on. Okay, now let's talk about being a magnet. This is all about optimizing your profile. So there's
Hey, Miriam, somebody's asking, where do you find that all-star link, or how do you know if you're all-star?
Okay, so I'm gonna go back and show you because okay, so I would go to your smartphone, and you see where it says up here, you see where it says about. So I want you to keep on scrolling past the about section, past the features section, and then you'll see where it says your dashboard, and then just kind of look to the right. And if you do not see that all-star rating, then it means then what you do is you click on it, and you see how mine says all-star achieved. It will say to you, you're immediate or you're a beginner. Does that help?
Yep.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Okay, next, being a magnet. So this is all about making your profile, making sure your profile pops. Okay, so there's 3 steps in that. One is the setup. This is the work that you do before you enter the information on your computer. This is all the prep work. The second is stopping the scroll. This is all about how do you make your profile engaging. I can't tell you how many profiles I look at. I'm always like, I'm really kind of shocked that it is important to spend that time to engage the reader. And I'm going to show you in a minute how to do that. And the last step is share a mind. This is tough. This is another tough thing to do, because it's all about how do you make sure that when you go to the party, the people remember you, right? You left the party, but you don't want them to forget about you. So how do you do that? I'm going to talk about that in a minute. All right, so now let's talk about the setup. So one of the first tips in the setup is to identify who to ask for recommendations. And what I mean by that is if you scroll down, you got to keep on scrolling. At the very bottom there, it's got a list of the recommendations. This is really important. And what you may want to do is think of the people that can refer you. So if you're laid off, or you're separated from your job, or you're furloughed, connect with the people that were your cheerleaders at work. Who are the people that said great things about you when you were not in the room? Here's another tip about the recommendations. Write a draft. And then you can say to them on LinkedIn, you can say, here's a recommendation for you to scratch or edit. People are busy. It'll be a lot easier for them to just edit your draft. Oh, and don't forget to say thank you. Okay, I want to shout out another one of my favorite resources here. His name is Andy Foote, and he is from the UK. He's got an awesome list of recommendations if you need some help. Okay, another tip is gathering media in the featured section. And I just showed you the featured section when we just had that question. This is new, by the way, in LinkedIn, and use it. You can put all kinds of fun things in there. You can, if you feel comfortable with videos, you can even do a video yourself and talk about what you do and what your superpowers are. Or maybe you wrote an article, you can put that in. Maybe there is some kind of quote, or maybe a data analysis that you did that you can share. And of course, you don't want to share any private company secret information, but things that you can share with the public, go ahead and put it in there. The next tip, invest time in writing your summary. Yeah, just I can't tell you how many times you'll definitely be different. You've got a competitive edge. You will set yourself apart if you just write a real engaging summary. And then review the private. I have a data privacy background, so I'm really sensitive to these privacy settings. Review them. There's a lot of them. I am going to show you 2 right now. Okay. The first privacy setting that I want to show you is if you go to, on your smartphone, go to where it says settings. And under settings, there's one that says manage your data and activity. And go ahead and click that. In fact, I did it myself. I'm showing you what I did recently. And I was surprised that it said that I was sharing data with Photo Feeler. Now I'm going to do a shout out for Photo Feeler because it's a great site to go to, and it's what you do is you upload your headshot, and they actually tell you what people think or feel when they see your headshot, right? So if you look confident, then they'll go ahead and tell you, well, most of the votes said you look confident, or maybe you look professional. So go ahead and check that out. And also, by the way, if you don't want to share your information with the company, which I didn't, you click manage and you just turn it off. And by the way, Career Connectors, when they were offline, they were doing great, by the way, great headshot photos. So,
hey, Miriam, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
People are looking for Photo Feeler. How do they get that, or how do they find that in their LinkedIn profile to use it?
Yeah, so this one is outside of LinkedIn. So just go to Google and just enter in Photo Feeler. It should, or photofeeler.com, it should pop right up. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you the second privacy suggestion here. And it's kind of weird. I'm not even so sure. I don't know why they call it privacy, but I think it's important that you see this. This is all about the viewers of your profile also viewed. Now, you're not going to see this in your smartphone. This is a desktop application. And what this is it's just very distracting. First, what I want you to do is you can, under the view, it's under the privacy settings, and it's called viewers of this profile also viewed. What you do is you click on it, and then you want to make sure it's turned off. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. The reason I'm recommending this is because in the desktop view, it's very distracting. What's happening is some of the data shows us when they're checking you out, if they have people also viewed, their eyes are steering away from you. So you don't want that. So go ahead and turn that off. Okay. All right, now the next step. This is all about how to optimize your profile and make sure that you are looking good. Okay, the first one is focus on your prime real estate areas. And what I mean by that is when people are checking you out, they are checking you out on your smartphone first. And what you want to do is optimize that prime real estate. So for the first one is a background image. Most of the members I see don't have it. They're using the default. You can go to Pixabay. That's one of my favorite sites. There's also all kinds of graphic design places that you can go if you want something really unique. And go ahead and upload that and make sure the colors pop. The second one is a headshot. Really important. 14 to all the data shows that you're more likely to be viewed if you have a headshot. No hats, high resolution, smile, and solid background. And the next one is the headline. It's all about the keywords. This is really important. If there's one thing that I want you to get out of my talk today, it's the headline. Make sure you've got keywords in your headline. And I'm going to actually dive into that in a little bit. Okay, I wanted you to see the difference between a profile. Just going to scan through a couple before and after profiles. This particular one, what I found interesting is just the background in the headshot makes a difference. So that's why I always said you want it to pop. And And let's see, and if you take a look, you can view it a little bit larger. You can see actually the difference in her headlines using keywords and making, engaging sentences.
Hey, Miriam, quick question. We have a couple people asking about the background pictures.
Uh-huh.
And so is it pixabay.com, Pixabay?
Yes, Pixabay, yeah. There's a lot, there's a lot others. You can go ahead and just Google. All you gotta do is Google free images. That's it. But I happen to like Pixabay. I think they've got a lot more options. There's iStock too, but there's a charge now for it.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep on going. Just let me know if you've got more questions in the chat box. Okay. This is another example of a before and after. This particular example I wanted to show you because he actually used an example of something that, he loves golf. And actually that's a conversation starter. So it's perfectly okay if you want to use, something that you like to do. And this one is more of an executive look, as you see, more of a solid background. And you also can read up, you can also see the difference in his about section, even in the first sentence. It's really important to have an engaging first sentence. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Oh, and this one I thought I wanted to show you because, gosh, this one had before and after background images, but you see the difference, this one pops a little bit more. So spend some time uploading the right image. All right, now let's do some work. Okay, what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about the headline and then let's have some fun in the chat box. Okay, so the first thing about your headline is you can enter in keywords or you can do a tagline. Let's say, for example, you're a project manager. You could enter in agile methodologies or Scrum. If you like to work for startups, you can write startups. You can even use a tagline. One of them I saw recently said, project manager advancing healthcare through IT software. So I've seen both, they both can work. And then also add in a personal phrase to set yourself apart. What I did for mine, if you take a look at mine, I put down chocolate lab lover or future chocolate lab owner because I haven't had one yet. But I've seen other ones, Marvel movie enthusiast, and it's just it's a starter. It's a way to connect with someone. And a lot of times I get people connect with me and all they're talking about is labs. Okay, another one is avoid those generic words. So if I see results oriented, detailed, things that are just very generic, strategic thinker, proven, passionate, motivated, skip that. And another tip is a call to action. So at the very end, if you want to write something like you want to learn more, read on, let's connect. Okay, and then I wanted to also give you some examples. So go ahead and look at your headline. I wanted to show you just the difference in the format. Sometimes, my favorite is use this vertical pipe. I've seen different formats where they use a different color. And then sometimes they use a combination of, this is a combo of keywords and the tagline. So what I want to do now is let's start doing some entering in your headline in the chat box. Let's kind of see what we get. I'll pause a little bit right now. And maybe if you like your headline and you think it's working for you, go ahead and enter it in. If you want to change it and enter in a different headline and using different keywords, go ahead and enter it in and let's have a conversation.
And Miriam, people can also go out to their LinkedIn profile and copy and paste their headline into this. Is that right?
Sure. If that works, they can do that too if that's easier. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and I'll give some feedback, online feedback.
That's great. And while people are doing that, I did have a question for you that popped up. Somebody was asking about the summary. I don't know if you're going to go into any more of this, but About how long should the summary be? How many words do you
Yeah.
have? Advice?
Yeah. I like that. Well, right now, first of all, I am going to go into the summary in a little
Okay.
bit in a second, but I can answer that now. So right now it's 2,600 characters, and LinkedIn increased it, by the way. And so I would say I would use up I like to actually use up as much as I can. And I like to put keywords at the bottom of the summary, so you can maximize the search engine optimization, right? It's a really, the search engine optimization, that's the way that LinkedIn prioritizes your profile, so that when I want to find you and I enter in keywords, you want to make sure that your name pops up as high as you can, right? In the list that I see. It's really complicated, these LinkedIn algorithms. It's a combination of 4 or 5 things, but one of them is the keywords. And by the way, you don't want to overdo it with the keywords too. Did that answer the question, Jessica?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, how are we doing with the headlines? Any good ones?
Lots of good ones in here.
There's a ton of good ones. Do you want us to read some of them to you, or are you looking?
Yeah, let's do a couple, because I think we got a little bit, I think we're okay. We can do a couple.
So Michael says operations director, project management, business development, process improvement, team building, multi-state. Jessica says Arizona's career connector. That's kind of her tagline. Church hiring expert, health and wellness advocate. Another one says marketing, public relations, community. So I see a lot of where they're giving industry and then adding like storytelling, project management.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I guess, okay, so I just want to caution you. You want to have the keywords because you want people to find you, but you also want to make sure that you're different than everybody else. So you can start off with using those keywords, but then but niche it as much as possible. So in other words, if you said like project manager and okay, process improvement, right? But tell me the industry, maybe tell me if you're, what particular area, maybe you're Scrum Master, you've got a Scrum Master, or maybe you've got a specific strength or skill set, hard skill within that area, within project management. As much as you can.
Yeah, so one of the questions that just popped up, how do we stay unique when everyone is trying to be unique? So you're saying take that word, the project manager, but put like your skill set with that, or industry, or
yeah, right. So you can start off with those hard skills that you have in common, right? Because I'm going to put down project manager when I look for you, and then maybe I'll put down financial industry. But then after that, after that, think about something a little bit more, what people know you for. So
Kitty writes, her tagline is born with a pencil in my hand.
I love
right?
that.
So that's memorable. And it's
yeah.
Another person wrote, suitcase packed, ready to bring my skills to your organization. Frank, I love that. So Miriam, would you say there's different buckets? Like you want to do skills, industry, and then something that says who you are, like what
right.
you are.
Right. It is a balance, okay? Because if you don't have those keywords in your headline, then you got to make sure you got them in your profile, in your summary section, in your about section. So it's that balance between getting those keywords in there, but then having that tagline or that little thing that makes you different. Okay, and I'm gonna, I think we've got some examples. Yeah, let's go through some, oh, wait a second. Yeah, you know what, if we have time, we can go back to it, but let's go through the other areas. But that was good, that was great, perfect. Okay, so let's talk about crafting your summary, because someone asked about that. Okay, so by the way, it's in the about section. They used to call it summary, now it's called about. And here's some tips. Start with engaging entry. I can't tell you how many summaries I read or about sections, and boring. Like, oh my gosh, okay. You want to, right, it's the scroll. So you want to start off with like maybe just a simple sentence. I was lucky, or I'm a people engineer, or I make things happen, or you have I read one yesterday. It was, you have 7 seconds to make an impression in creating a relationship with people. You know, just something eye-catching, right? And then the next one is in your summary, you want me to tell me about your superpowers, your strengths. I'm the one that will find the $1 million error in reams of data. Another tip is tell me about your accomplishments and don't forget the numbers. And one of the things that I like to do with accomplishments is I like to put it in a separate section, and I always put numbers in there and I highlight it at the bottom. And then make it personal. It's really warm. It's not your resume. You can share what you do outside of work. I can't tell you how many people connect with me and all they talk about is what I do outside of work. So it's a real conversation starter. And here's something else. And you know what? I want you to put a big circle around with this one. Use headers and make sure there's white space. When you've got these words all crunched together, it's just hard to read and I just want to keep on scrolling, or I'm just going to go on to the next person. Okay, I'm going to keep on going. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, engaging entries. So one of the things I wanted to show you was first sentence to use in your about section. So as I was saying before, you don't want to make it boring. So one of the ones that I really liked was, and these examples of them, looking for a creative engineer with a big picture. Oh, looking for a creative engineer with a big picture thinking ability, read on. I like that one because you don't think of a creative engineer having a big picture thinking ability.
That's Nikki. That's one of my favorite profiles as an example.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I saw that and I just grabbed it. And then there's a couple other ones that I saw also that I included in here. Another one I saw the other day, being a night owl, my best work is done in the evening. That was a good eye catcher. I like that one. Okay, here's some other profile tips. Personalize your URL. Make sure that your URL does not have the numbers and you can brand it. The second one is, this is my favorite, and I mentioned this before about the feature section, upload stuff, okay? Whether it's documents, images, video, you wanna make it colorful. You want people to learn more about you. And the next one is those volunteer activities. People love that. In fact, I know some hiring managers, it's one of the first things they go to. And then the last one is leverage there's a project section. Take advantage of that. That's a great way to differentiate you. And actually for my seasoned clients, if there's a skill set that's done something they wanted to shout out that they did much earlier in their career, I go ahead and I put it in the project section. So the piece that I want you most important to get out of this section is make sure that you differentiate yourself. Okay, I'm going to go on the next section. Any more? I'm going to keep on going here because I know we're okay. Share of mind. So this is really the hardest part. It's about, connecting with people and writing your articles and posting and participating in groups, knowing your hashtags, and monitoring keywords. And the piece that I want to talk about here are the two most important, which is the connecting with people and monitoring your keywords. So the biggest question I get with connections is about quality versus quantity. And it's about what's more important. And is it the numbers or it's the quality of people that you connect with? And I am a fan of quantity. And here's why. It's because there's a couple of years ago where I was connecting with a stranger, and she was in Phoenix. And a while back after that, we noticed we had a common profession. We started talking. And I ended up working for her. So I'm definitely a fan of the numbers. The more that you connect with, there's more opportunity. Here, I'm gonna continue on with connections and some basics. One is I asked to connect during a video or a face-to-face conversation. I know right now it may be a little bit challenging as far as face-to-face. So if you're in a video with someone, go ahead and connect. I do create a red line of requests of ones that I don't accept. I have my own thresholds. So if it looks spammy, I don't accept it. And the next one, nurture your connections through milestones and comments. And what I mean by that is when I get, if I see an anniversary on my notifications, or let's say a birthday, what I do is I go ahead and send a happy birthday note, or sometimes I even send a gift. And the next one is you can invite people to connect with you that view your profile. So every day you see who's viewing your profile. I just did it just before I came on. I looked to see who's viewing my profile, and I went ahead and I sent a connection back.
Hey, Mary,
And
real quick, can you tell us how to see who is viewing your profile?
yeah, you can
Remember
go.
that?
Yeah. So what you can do is when you go to the app, let's see, you can go to, let's see, first of all, in your notifications, they will give you a notice. Let's see, who's viewed your profile? They should give you a notice.
I know where it is on the computer. So on the computer, if you're on, when you go to your home page, just the home page, where you see your picture on the left-hand side, right under that, it says who's viewed your profile. And you can click on that and it'll show many of them.
Yeah, and
somebody had said, do you need premium? You don't need premium for a portion of them. You just can't see all of them.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. Okay, and let's go to, I'm going to keep on going because I got lots of, okay, this is my favorite connection, the second degree. And what second degree is if I'm a first connection with Sheila, and let's say Sheila is a first connection with Jessica, then I'm a second degree with Jessica. And I love second degrees, because if I want to meet Jessica, then all I got to do is talk to Sheila. And I say to Sheila, can you introduce me? You can do an introduction, or I can shout out Sheila's name. So take a look at your second connections. Here is about talking about connections. How do you reach out to strangers? This is the hardest thing for people to do. So I wanted to show you how it works. And you can start, it's kind of as a diagram to showed you. First, you can start off with your family and friends. That's the easiest. The second is your community, your coworkers. That's the next easiest. Here's the hardest one. It's the strangers. And then these are their connections on LinkedIn. So one of the things I want to show you right now is some tips and some strategies on how to connect with your strangers on LinkedIn. And that is the cold message. So what I like to do here is I want to show you how to craft this cold message. So this is the stranger, you don't know them, you're a third connection, and it's a process, but I wanted to give you some tips on things to think about when you're writing it. One is the subject line. How do you have an enticing subject line? And one of the things I like to do is I like to shout out something about like, I saw you on a keynote, or loved your article, or I got one recently that said, I have a chocolate lab, So have an enticing subject line. Tell me, if you're writing to me, tell me how you know me, right? I saw your, a lot of times I get emails, they'll say, I saw your post, I loved it. And then what interests you about the company? Actually, include that. What did you like about it? Tell me why you're interested in it. And then tell the stranger, it's really good. If you know about my company's pain, then tell me how you can resolve it. And then the ask for the action. What I love to do for ask for action is, and my clients always tell me this one is, they always say at the end, if you're interested to talk, love to chat. And please do not ask for a job when you first meet a stranger. So here's some examples of some subject lines. One of the ones that I actually, of course, respond to quickly. I got one that said from a fellow Amex employee. I worked for Amex for quite a long time, so I opened that one real quick. Here's some really good ones. Referred by, here's the name. So-and-so suggested I reach out to you. Those are awesome, gold. And here's an example of a cold message. What I wanted to show here was the piece about, I attended a conference, I had a chance to see you pitch, and I was blown away by your team and your company. So keep it short. And here's another tip. I love doing this. People don't do this enough. Use voice. I do it all the time. I get a great response, and quite frankly, on birthdays, I actually sing happy birthday in voice.
Is this in messaging?
Yes, this is on messaging. You'll see on the bottom, you'll see a little microphone. All you got to do is press on it. And by the way, once you send it, that's it. So you may want to practice a couple of times because you can't get it back.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, I love it. I use it all the time. That's a great way to differentiate yourself. Okay, here's another tip that I wanted to share with you. Under monitoring, I'm going back to, we're talking about connections and how people find you. Go ahead and, now this one is, right now it's premium members, but they are talking about enabling it for regular members. So, and they roll it out by like city. So go ahead and look in your profile. Under your dashboard, you see where it says there's a number. It says so many search for you. So take that number, press on it, and you want to, it'll show you a pop-up. You're going to want to scroll down a little bit. And if you don't have it, that's fine. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. If you do have it, and by the way, if you've got premium, great. Premium is, you can use premium for free for a month. This is a great feature to have. And when you press on it, it actually tells you the key words your searchers use to find you. It doesn't get better than that. So are people seeing it in the chat box? Are we hearing? Or I'm going to keep on talking, but let me know if people are seeing it or not. I wanted to show you this one because I actually tried it myself, where if you take a look at my headline, from June 2nd to June 9th, they had the keywords. I was kind of surprised that it said some of these keywords is the keywords I didn't want people to use to find me. So what I did was I changed it. I changed my headline again, and I still didn't, they gave me the list of keywords. I still didn't like it because it said healer. I'm like, no, I'm not a healer. So then what I did was I changed it. I waited. So this one was just what, a week ago? And I looked at my keywords and I'm thinking, okay, we're getting better. I'm probably going to still work on it, but it's a great way to see whether your keywords are working or not.
And Miriam, is this only available to premium users?
Right now, yeah, right now it looks like premium users. And like I said, premium is for free for a month. So go ahead and take advantage of it if you're a job seeker. And if they are talking about rolling it out, but you never know whether you're going to have access or not. So I recommend you do just sign up for premium. Okay. Are there any other questions before I go on?
Just how you find it on your profile, right? You click on your profile and then just partway down the page.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Under your dashboard,
right.
Go to, you'll see, it'll say who viewed your, perfect. This was a question before, who viewed your profile. Under your dashboard, you click on this and you see it. But getting back to this.
Who viewed your profile.
Right, you go right to the right where it says search appearances and there's a number there and you click on that.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's do a recap. Let's talk about what we talked about. So there's three things, three areas what I want you to remember. One is do your homework. It's all part, when I talked about the setup, when you're doing your homework, it's ask for the recommendations now. Are there any documents you could use to showcase your talent? Start with a blank sheet of paper when you're writing your summary. Look at others or follow me on LinkedIn for samples. Here's the second one. Stop the scroll. This is all about being a star on your profile, having that star rating. Focus and just first focus on the prime real estate areas, your headline, your picture, your background image. And then the third, which we all talked about, was being the hardest, and that is be a drugger. That's how you're going to set yourself apart from everybody else, is that when you connect and you write posts and you comment and you have a digital conversation and you establish relationships, that's how you get your jobs today. Okay, now let's talk about what did you learn? Let's have a little fun, and give me just either tell me what you learned today or tell me what action you're going to take as a result of our conversation. What are we seeing?
Changed my about, complete overhaul of my profile, updated my about words, use voice in messaging, spice up keywords. I know for me, I've been procrastinating fixing my title under my name because I don't know. And what you taught me is I can change it today and I can change it again. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. I can keep working on it. But if I would just update it, something, it would be better than what I have.
Yep. Okay. Should I continue on or?
Major aha, how important LinkedIn is into finding a role.
Okay.
Someone asked, well, yeah, I know we're running out of time, but someone asked about that open to opportunities feature, that new feature that they have that puts can you speak to that?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, there's this whole controversy about whether, whether we should, this is like big argument on LinkedIn, whether we should be using it or not. The reason why, so the argument is kind of like from a psychological perspective, like, do you want to shout to the world that you're looking for a job? Are you attracted to hiring managers and recruiters if you shout it out? So some people, there's one school of thought that says, no, don't shout it out. Like let them find you, and then later on they can find out that you're in transition. But there's the other school of thought that says, no, hey, I'm in transition, and I think it's perfectly fine to shout it out. What I say is use the green frame, because what I like about the green frame is, number one, it doesn't take away from keywords. Right? Because other people were using it in their headline, and that takes away from the optimization. The other thing I like about the frame is it's just more standard, it's more professional. And basically try it out and see if it works for you. There's a couple people, I did hear of a couple of people that said that they did get some recruiter connections and interviews, they felt like just from putting it out. So the jury's out. Okay? All right, let's have some fun here, and I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our little prize here. So the way we're gonna do it is the prize is 60 minutes coaching one-on-one.
60 minutes or 20 minutes?
This one's gonna be 60 minutes. It's the grand prize, and the first person to answer this question in the chat box wins. All right, so do we need a drum roll?
I don't know if you can hear that.
All right, ready, go.
Name the country that has the third largest number of LinkedIn users.
Yes.
Well, okay. I have USA, Brazil, England, United Kingdom, India, UK.
Brazil. It's Brazil.
Okay, so hold on. Chat's going fast.
Rob Lepler.
Okay. All right. Oh, I know Bob. Okay. All right. Okay, Bob. All right, cool. All right. I'll follow up with him later. All right, let's talk about more goodies. Check your inbox. You're going to be seeing some LinkedIn tips a little bit later on, and my resource list. And if you want to talk more, happy to talk to you. You can go ahead and just take a picture of this, connect with me. There's 3 different ways to connect.
So your 2 resources that you offered, just to let people know, they'll be linked in our blog, or if you registered for this event, I'll email them to you. If you haven't registered yet, I left registration open, so you could do it after we're done here, go register, and you'll just get it automatically emailed. So lots of ways to get those 2 resources from Miriam.
Okay.
Miriam, one quick question that we had come up, and I don't have the answer for it, or I'd type it in the chat more. There's a new hashtag on LinkedIn called Open to Work. And are you familiar with this? And do you know if employers are utilizing this to consider candidates?
Yeah. Actually, there's 2 of them I'm seeing. Hashtag Open to Work. There's one on Project Grow. Yeah, if I'm not, it's a strategy to use. Are they going there? I'm not seeing a lot going there, but you know what? But one of the things I do like about that is that you can connect with other job seekers. You know, it happens, you can see who else who's posting on there. And really, it's about test and learn, see if it works for you. I think the biggest, what's really going to help you the most is when you reach out and look, once you have a strategy, you know your target organizations, you know the people that are working in those target, or you know the hiring managers. That's when you reach out, you take initiative, and you establish relationships, right? You take that drive, you take that commitment, you take that step to reach out to those people and establish relationships with them. I've seen it over and over again. It happened with me. So it's the best, most effective strategy.
That is great. So we have some people asking about how do you do it. We've dropped a couple LinkedIn blogs and URLs in this chat box. You can click right in that, and it gives the instructions on what Open to Work is and how to add it to your profile. So Miriam, thank you for such a great day.
Okay.
So much great information. Everyone wave. This is the like virtual clapping, jazz hands. Miriam, we so appreciate it. We appreciate you being here. You guys, a lot of content just came out from Miriam just now, and I know it was fast and I know it was a lot of content. So what we're doing is this webinar will be posted on our website, careerconnectors.org. And when you go to that website, there are 3 boxes. The third box right on the homepage says CC Webinar. It will be posted under CC Webinar later today. We are also Blog Kitty. She's the one that was born with a pen in her hand. She is actually our blogger today. So she is blogging this full event, and we will have the detail, all of that blog posted under our Job Seeker Resources tab. And usually that takes a couple days for us to get all down on paper and edited. So all of those tips will be posted in that as well. And so 2 places that you can recap this data. So thank you so much again for being here, and we really appreciate it, Miriam. All right, we're gonna move on. We have each of our companies are gonna talk for a few minutes, and then we'll close it out. So we're on the line for about another half hour or so. I had a couple people asking me about the length of our webinar today. So I would like to introduce you all to our friend Heather Markham. She has been at Freedom Financial Network as their head of talent acquisition. And prior to that, Heather was a vice president of global talent acquisition at R1 RCM in Chicago. And she's also been vice president of talent acquisition for Charles Schwab. She's also been head of talent acquisition for PayPal Global Operations. And so she has a wealth of experience in recruiting and talent management and talent attraction. So Heather holds a Bachelor of Science degree from Illinois State University and originally from the Chicago area. And in her spare time, she is active in dog rescue and currently serves as the president of Rescue a Golden of Arizona. So please help me welcome Heather Markham to our meeting today.
All right, good morning, everybody. You know, I don't know about you guys, but this last 3 months, or is it 3 months? I don't know, 4 months now, feels like we're just living in the twilight zone. I don't know what's going on. Never, if you had asked me, you know, even 6 months ago, if we would all be, you know, at home and doing these great events with Jessica and her team via Zoom, I would have said you were absolutely nuts. But here we are. So I'm with Freedom Financial Network, as Jessica mentioned. I'm going to share a little bit with you today about Freedom. So for those of you who aren't you know, very familiar with us, maybe you're not out driving around and you haven't seen our buildings in a while, because that's usually how most people know us. They see our buildings over next to Tempe Marketplace. But I want to share a little bit today about Freedom, about kind of who we are and what we do. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about our culture and why people love to work with us, and some of our open jobs that we're recruiting for right now. I do just want to give a quick plug to Miriam too for that great presentation. I just want to attest that my entire recruiting team uses LinkedIn probably 75% of their day. So they are out there, they're looking for you. And so a great profile, very complete with everything that she mentioned, really does stand out. So good advice there. All right. Okay, my pointer is working. So, you know, a little bit about who we are. We actually just updated what we call kind of our employer value proposition to better, I think, inform the talent community about who we are and kind of how we operate. So I'm going to read this out loud, which normally I won't, but because it's brand new and you guys haven't seen this before, I think it's important. So at Freedom, we believe our people are the key drivers of our market-defining innovation and success. We strive to nurture an inclusive, caring culture that positions everyone to do their best work. We are deeply committed to providing work that makes a meaningful impact by helping everyday Americans move forward toward a better financial future. And that everyday Americans is really important and really a critical part of what we do. And I'm going to show you that here in a minute because, again, I think some people, when they hear Freedom Financial Network or they drive by our buildings, or maybe you know somebody who works with us, and aren't always quite clear on exactly what we do. So I wanted to include some information here about our three major lines of business. So under the Freedom Financial Network umbrella, we have our Freedom Debt Relief program, which is probably the one that people know best. That is our largest line of business. We are the largest debt settlement company in the country. And we have resolved, actually, I think this is needs to be updated here, over $12 billion worth of debt for our clients. So this is by far our largest line of business and probably the one people know. But a little bit lesser known is our Freedom Plus lending arm. So this is our lending division, and it includes our personal loans and our consolidation loans. And then finally, our newest line of business is called Lendage, and this is our mortgage or refi line of business. And as you can see here, it kind of goes across the spectrum of that range of consumers. And when we say everyday Americans, our solutions are literally for everyday Americans, people like you, me, your family, your friends, who for a variety of reasons can find themselves in debt. Many times it's not their fault. They had a major medical issue. They lost their job. They were laid off. Their savings ran out. They were using their credit cards to stay afloat. It happens, and it happens to really good people. And we are here to help them when those things happen. So a little bit more about kind of what we do and why we do it, because it's so critical for people who are looking to really make a difference in people's lives. I think we're very unique in that space because we are one of the very few companies out there that can say that we actually help people struggling. You know, there are a lot of companies that help people, but what about the people who really need help at a time when, you know, they may be in the worst financial position they've ever been in, and that doesn't feel good, right? So we know that our research has told us that there are actually 70% of Americans are financially vulnerable or just coping, just getting by. And that over 61 million, or almost half of American households, have a revolving balance on their credit cards or their unsecured debt of almost $7,000. And 40% of Americans cannot cover a $400 expense. And over a third of Americans have suffered a financial hardship. And I can tell you that these numbers are from about a year or so ago. And I can promise you that with all of this COVID stuff that's going on, unfortunately, this is not going to get better. And so, you know, I think what we do and our services and how we help people is going to become even more important. Let me move to the next slide here. So again, just a little bit about us and who we are at scale. So these are the more updated numbers. We have resolved over $12 billion worth of debt for consumers. That's just an astronomical number. We've saved our consumers over $3 billion, and we have originated almost $3 billion in loans. We've serviced close to now 1 million customers, and right now we've got about 2,400 employees. The vast majority of our employees reside right here in Arizona. They used to sit over in our buildings, our Rio campus over next to Tempe Marketplace, but like many other companies, when COVID hit, we had to quickly make some decisions, and we sent every single one of our employees, save for a small handful of folks that, you know, maybe work in facilities or something like that, home. So our entire workforce right now is working remote. And going forward, when things turn around, and we don't know when that will be, probably not this year, we don't think, we are going to start moving towards more of a hybrid situation where some roles in some departments may be working from home 100% of the time. They may never go back into the office. Some of them may work at home sometimes and in the office sometimes, and then there may be a small set of roles that will be in the office again 100%. So just like most other companies out there, we've kind of been forced to evolve very quickly here. But if you were to come on with Freedom right now, you would be working from home, which is where I am. I'm not in our Freedom conference room. That's a background. So a little bit about and who we are. So we're very, very proud of our core values. We are, I'll just say that we take these core values very seriously. You'll see them in our job descriptions. You'll see them in almost everything that we do, because this is the way that we kind of behave internally as a company and what we expect of people that come work with us. And I always tell people that I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's actually was intentional, that care is our very first core value out of the 4. Because one of the things that we hear most from our employees that they feel that's different at Freedom is that we actually truly care. We care about our customers. We have to care about our customers because of the business that we're in, because not a lot of other people are caring for them at that point. We have to, but we also care for our employees, and we're very passionate about that. We make sure that we take care of everyone. We also strive to innovate and get better. So we're constantly improving and looking for ways to get better at what we do and how we do it and what we offer our customers. We are a company that acts with integrity. There are some, in our space, admittedly, there are some probably bad players out there. And we are not one of those. We act with integrity, and we're a very collaborative environment as well. So if you like teamwork, we would be the right spot. Let's see, I think I may have lost control, Sheila.
You should have it if you go to the lower left, or do you want me to take it back?
Yeah, maybe take it back because it's not moving on my end.
No problem. No problem.
You gotta love technology, I tell ya.
Yep, I got it.
All right. Oh, I think I'm back.
Oh, well, I took it. So just go ahead and let me know. Yeah.
You have it. Keep it. Okay. So a couple of the benefits of working for us. We are a good sized organization. So we do offer all of the, the big benefits that you would expect, medical, dental, 401k, things like that. But we also offer, obviously, paid time off, vacation time, sick time. But we also offer some really, unique benefits, pet insurance. So those of you like me, I'm a dog lover. So it's important that we take care of our fur babies, pet insurance, legal plans. And then we also have something that's really unique. And I think that this goes and speaks really towards our culture about caring. So we have a program called the Freedom Family Fund. And the Freedom Family Fund is a fund that is actually driven by our employees and our co-CEOs. Yes, we have 2 CEOs, and they are our original founders. They're still with the company, and they are our CEOs. So it used to be when you came into the office on Wednesday, if you wore jeans, you would put $3 into the bucket. Our co-CEOs would each match that. So your $3 then became $9. And it was building this fund. And this fund is there for when our own employees run into some sort of financial hardship. And we see all kinds of things happen. You never cease to amaze the things that people are up against on a day-to-day basis. And so we look at each one of those different scenarios, and they may be approved to get a kind of a donation, if you will, from that fund. So some unique things that we do that we're pretty proud of. Go ahead, Sheila. All right, so I think this is what everyone's waiting for, right? So what are we hiring for right now? I will tell you that, like most companies, we did go into a hiring freeze around late March. And we've been slowly starting to pick that hiring back up. And now things are kind of picking up a little bit faster and faster and faster. So I would highly, highly recommend that you bookmark our website, ffnjobs.com, because we are adding jobs literally daily. I also recommend that you follow us on, Miriam's favorite, LinkedIn. Freedom Financial Network Careers. Go to our page and like us. You're going to find a lot of information about anything specific that we may be looking for. If there's a special hiring event, we did a virtual career fair a couple weeks ago. Things like that you're going to find on our LinkedIn and our Facebook page as well. But right now, what we do have open, what we're hiring for is we have a class for customer service, and these are going to be bilingual Spanish-speaking customer service representatives that will start on August 8th. We're also hiring into our inside sales team, and this is specifically for our Freedom Debt Relief Program sales. And the next class there starts August 17th, but I can tell you that we are hiring 60, that's 60, of these sales representatives between now and about the middle to late part of September. So we're gonna have a lot of opportunity in our sales team, and that also includes opportunities on our bilingual sales team, and that's gonna be Spanish speaking. Over in our shared services, or what some people might call corporate functions, we have a variety of roles open in our compliance department right now, as you can imagine, being in financial services. We have a lot of rules and regulations that we have to abide by, and so we're constantly making sure that we are staying compliant and minimizing risk in everything that we do. We have a variety of information security roles open right now too. A technology sourcing manager, so this is kind of purchasing in technology. And there's a senior accountant role open, and I believe there might actually be another accounting role open up there too. Some roles that are coming in, but I don't have them listed here yet, you're gonna hear first. So keep an eye on. We have a sales manager position opening up. And that will probably go up on our website in the next couple of days. And we're also going to be opening up a couple of software engineering roles. And we are a Java shop. So a couple of engineering roles will be opening as well. And that's what I know right now. But again, things are starting to really move for us. And so I expect that we're going to be picking up our hiring over the next couple of months. So, you know, keep an eye on our site.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather. We have a couple questions I just want to ask real quick. You had said, somebody's asking about, will people be able to stay virtual going forward? It sounds like some of your positions will stay virtual. Is that true?
Yeah, so we're still working through that. We're still kind of figuring out what our strategy is going to be on that. But like I said, some roles will be full-time at home. That's more than likely going to be roles in shared services, corporate type roles, things like that. Roles in sales, customer service, those types of roles, there's probably going to be some sort of hybrid option where you'll be at home, you know, mainly, and you may come into the office for a meeting, you know, once a week or once a month, things like that. And then there's going to be some roles that will be 100% in the office. And we know, we've actually seen this, we have employees who just for whatever reason, they cannot work from home. And so we have made very, very few exceptions, and we have had a very small handful of people working in the office. And so for those of you who just literally cannot work from home, there's probably going to be opportunity for that too.
Awesome. Hey, I would love your take on the open to work conversation we were having. Do you utilize that? Does your team utilize that at all?
I mean, to be transparent, no, we don't. My recruiters, when they're going in, they're doing very specific, you know, Boolean searches. Boolean searches is kind of a string of words that will create a search that will pop up, you know, the type of talent that they're looking for. So I don't know that any of my recruiters are searching by that hashtag open to work, but I can tell you that if they see it on your profile, it makes their job a little bit easier because they know if they send you an email, they're probably going to get a response. So I don't think it can hurt.
Awesome. All right, Heather, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Heather is here for a few minutes more, so if you want to drop any questions in the chat, feel free to go ahead and do that. All right, I'd like to introduce you guys all to Liz Krieger. She is a sales manager for Hotfoot Recruiters. Originally from Buffalo, New York, she moved out to Arizona in February of this year. I told her she didn't have much time to have fun here before we went in lockdown. She's been doing sales for a staffing agency for the last 4 years and is excited to get to know more people and get to know the Arizona area. So will you please help me welcome Liz to the meeting today?
Hi, everyone. I really appreciate being here. So thanks, Jessica, for letting us come in. I know Hotfoot's done some presentations before, but obviously I'm new. So thanks, guys, for being such a good team. And Kind of to back up what Heather said, Miriam, your presentation was awesome. You know, from someone who has dealt a lot with LinkedIn and been to many LinkedIn presentations, I even took some good key points away from that. So yeah, I really appreciate that as well. You know, it's always a good thing to keep learning. But yes, as I've said, I am Liz Krieger, sales manager from Hot Foot Recruiters. Let's see if I can get this going. Sheila, I also don't have the control over here. I don't know.
You'll go ahead and click and then go down to your lower left. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. Awesome. So kind of to start off, we're going to do a little brief intro about Hot Foot, because I think not many people in this area are super familiar with us. I think you either know us or you don't. Kind of talk about what we do here as a staffing provider in the Arizona area and actually throughout the country, as well as some of our open positions. So to kind of give you a little bit of a background, Hot Foot has been around for over 10 years here in the Arizona area. That's kind of where we started, and we still sit today. We're here on the Phoenix-Tempe border. But we do have about 4 other satellite offices that we service. So we have a couple companies that we service throughout the country. So we are local and national, and we do a variety of different staffing options. So anything from seasonal staffing or contract to hire, so roles that then turn over to direct hire with the company that you're staffing at, or permanent direct hire placements where we help you kind of get into the company of your dreams right from the get-go. So the states that we represent besides Arizona right now is Texas, Wisconsin, and Iowa is where we actually have Hot Foot Recruiters sitting today, working in those different time zones and recruiting for people all across the country. So kind of as you see, this is some of the states that we've actually done some staffing in. So we both here are local as well as nationally. So we can help service or help you get into companies, whether you're here in the area. I know we had some people from different states and different countries online with us this morning. So anywhere you are, we can help you find you a good location to be at, or if you're looking to relocate or come back home to Arizona, all those good things. Okay, so kind of the industries that we service, so the companies that we hire for the most part, fall under 4 major categories. So we have customer service or contact center locations, anything in engineering or aerospace. We do a lot in manufacturing, distribution, production, warehousing, and then kind of anything in your professional segments. So a lot of different higher level professional opportunities that we come across and have. As I said before, we do all different types of staffing. So we work with companies and we can find you the right opportunity, whether it's something maybe you're looking for a part-time opportunity. I know a lot of people right now are looking and not sure what career they want to get into, what location, what job. We can kind of talk you through it, make sure the opportunity is right for you as it is for the customers that we're staffing for. And that's the main thing that I think we see here in staffing at a staffing agency is we get people all the time that will apply to these postings. They'll go through the interviews and, you know, you need to not be afraid to tell us that it's just not the right opportunity for you. You know, that's the goal, is to find you the best fitting opportunity as well as to find our customers the best candidates for that position. It needs to be a mutual understanding. And I think that's a lot of times where job seekers, you know, kind of get a little afraid to tell us that they don't want the position after they interview for it. Be honest with us, and I'm sure that goes for every company that you're servicing or, you know, interviewing with as well. So we're going to get into some of our openings that we have currently. Right now, a big thing for us is in that call center. So we work with a customer, and again, across a couple of different states, but they have over 80 openings throughout the next month for classes here for our customer experience representative position in Tempe. And then we also have a few, again, through in Wisconsin and Waterloo, Iowa. What that is it is going to be, you know, pretty much a day job, similar. It's working for a Fortune 500 company. You're taking calls. You have to have very strong computer skills. But they have been around for over 9 years. They have some really great benefits, as you can kind of see on the screen below, some great PTO, you know, vision, dental, all those good plans that go along with it. And they've been a great company. And they're a staple company. They stayed pretty steady during this whole COVID-19 pandemic. And what really has encouraged us to kind of keep growing and keep working with them is they are currently working remote. You do have to train on site for the first 5 weeks. And I know that's a little scary for some people, but they are taking all the CDC precautions into place. You do have to wear a mask, but then it does go to be a remote position. So again, if you're looking for something a little bit along those lines, while things figure itself out in this world, it is for an unannounced time, no real reason, no real time, I guess, if they're going to go back or not. That same company in our Texas branch, we do inside sales. So similar to kind of what Heather was saying for her company, that is something that we do for this company. So it's all inside sales, call center experience. They give you all the training, but it is located in San Antonio, Texas. Continuing on, and those are direct hire roles, so you will start working for that company immediately. And a couple other direct hire roles that we have is a procurement specialist right here in West Phoenix. They are looking for someone with a lot of strong ERP and MRP systems. They would prefer someone who's been in an aerospace type of field. Also prefer someone who's maybe done procurement on an international basis, because this company is a little large. So even though it is a specialist position, they are looking for someone who has a little bit more experience, a little bit higher level, maybe worked with sourcing for new parts and things like that. But that's a great opportunity we are looking for currently. We then switch over to a company that is looking for a financial services specialist. This is going to be a thing where you start working with our company, and then you'll transition over to their branch or working for their company. They're located right here in Tempe, similar to the previous role I talked about for the customer service rep. This is also a customer service rep, but it's going to be more on a financial segment. It is a financial institution, so they're looking for somebody who maybe has that background. It's not, it's something that they would prefer. It's not mandatory, I guess I should say. So anyone who's got really good customer service, it's a Monday through Friday role. You do have to be flexible, but the shift is either anytime between 5 and 5. So pretty good opportunity if you're good on the phone, good on computers, for a lot of our clerical positions that we have open kind of currently. And then kind of stepping in. So anyone maybe who wasn't that great with computers or phone, and it's just not your strength, we do still have roles for you open currently. So right now in the manufacturing, it's hot still. You know, people are working. Everyone is staying safe. Most of our facilities have procedures in place where they are taking temperatures. If you're feeling sick, you're out for 2 weeks. You know, they are not taking this seriously, and we have partnered with them to make sure that they can do everything in their can and we can keep our employees safe as well as they're keeping their employees safe. But if you know anyone who is looking for a welding opportunity, we have press brake machines, general laborers. Sewers are a huge thing right now. We work with a lot of different opportunities for companies who are actually helping with the COVID-19 pandemic, baking masks and gowns for hospitals and different things like that. Cycle counters, so those all range in a variety of shift times, opportunities, locations, but anywhere from really about $13.50 an hour up to $19 an hour. We have an opportunity for pretty much anyone. So what I can say is, come on down. We are open. We are appointment only. We here in our office, since we work with a lot of population who don't have the opportunities to go online and register, or we have bilingual recruiters right here on staff, and we source for those as well. We are here to kind of help and get people back to work, find people the right opportunities, and just kind of help them out in any way, shape, or form. So again, we are located right here in Tempe. That's our phone number on the bottom. Feel free to reach out to me personally or call our office. Anyone is here from pretty much 7:30 in the morning till almost 5 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday. Weekends we're accessible. So go onto our website, give us a call, and, you know, come on down. We'll definitely help you find a right opportunity for you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Liz.
Thank you.
Okay, I was seeing if there, I wanted to clarify this about staffing firms. We love to bring staffing firms in, and just clarify that Hotfoot and any of the firms we bring in would not charge you a fee for utilizing their services. The fees are paid by the client.
Yes, so correct. So it does not cost our associates anything to come and have us even talk to them, place them, anything. All fees are handled from the companies, so you guys do not need to worry about anything. Just think of us as a direct extension of the companies we service, and that's how Hotfoot really is. We don't treat people like numbers. We personally speak with every one of our contacts that, clients, and we're, a collaborative relationship of their staffing department to help them find the right opportunities, and that's what, they should think of when they're coming in to meet with us.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. We have the contact information in the chat for Hotfoot if you missed it, and we appreciate you being here today, Liz. Liz will be on the line for the next couple minutes. If you have any questions for her, feel free to send her a message. All right, we want to go through, thank you. We want to go through a couple things today. Sheila, I think you're going to keep the slide. Yeah. If you want to just move on to the event, go ahead and skip this slide, the evaluation slide. So because we are all virtual right now, we're not able to ask you all to fill out an evaluation. So what we're going to do is Sheila's going to launch a poll, and the poll is going to have 4 questions. And so if you could just quickly answer the question. As soon as you answer the question, the first one is the webinar registration was easy. As soon as you answer this, the poll goes away. So we'd really appreciate you guys answering our questions. Also, if you have additional feedback for us, we would love to hear it. contact@careerconnectors.org is our email address. You can send us any feedback you have on our speakers today. You can drop any information in the chat as well. We are reading that. Our team recaps every event and takes all of your feedback very seriously. If you have any companies you're targeting and you would like us to try to book them out to speak, let us know that, and we will work on that as well. So your feedback is very valuable. These are the partners we work with to make Career Connectors happen. So all over the Valley, these companies are working with us to get their information out and to help support the program so you can be served today. And you have the resources to get back to work quickly. All right, Sheila, go back 1 slide. So we are working with a company called Best Companies AZ, and Sherry just dropped all the links right in the chat box, so you can click directly on any of those links. But since COVID hit in March, we have worked with Best Companies AZ to validate companies that we're hiring, as well as providing additional resources. And so if you can click, if you go into the COVID resources, you will see a whole bunch of companies, 65 of them, and they're the ones at the top half of the page, are companies we work with, and we have talked to them and validated their job openings. And so you'll see their logo, you can click, you'll go right to their jobs page, and on that, you will see companies that are hiring. So 65 companies validated. And then below the second half are additional job openings that are out there, ones that we are working with an organization called Arizona at Work, and they are working with these additional companies on their jobs. So you'll see over 200 companies there. So I encourage you to take a look at that. Also, the next slide here is just some resources we have, and these resources are, we've mentioned a couple of them today. The first one is the DISC assessment, and that DISC assessment is available to you at no cost. It's going to take about 10-15 minutes to fill out, but it'll give you feedback on your work, your ideal work environment. So what kind of environment are you looking for? Your communication style. So that's something to really think about, especially as you're going on these interviews and you're thinking about how you portray yourself, especially through video and the phone right now. Then a lot of you have asked, where can I get the information from today's event? The recap blog is one where Kitty Carlisle is posting or blogging for us today. And so if you go onto our recap, we usually have that up in a couple days, and a lot of the information from today will be recapped in that blog. And so the tips, all the information you heard from Miriam, our companies, and feel free to visit that this week. Also, you can visit all of the previous events we've done. We haven't posted from years back, but all of the most recent ones are there as well. And there are many ways to connect with us on social media. We're very active on LinkedIn. We're posting, companies are posting jobs out there. We're engaging in that LinkedIn group. And then also our Facebook page, we do watch parties of these events. And so if for some reason people can't get on to the Zoom call, then they can join us on the Facebook watch parties. Okay, so we have this program. It's a virtual coaching program, and you get 10 minutes with different coaches. Now, what I encourage many of you to do is go out, update your LinkedIn profile, and then ask for an audit, a review of your LinkedIn profile by one of our LinkedIn coaches. So go to this website. It's also, Sherry also dropped this link into the chat box. Go in there and click on the areas that you'd like to have a conversation about. Same with your resume. Go out and work on your resume and then ask for somebody to review it. And so we have various different coaches available out there. If you're getting ready for an interview and you want to talk to somebody directly about interviews and how to do a video interview and have them run through a couple questions for you, check the mock interviews, and that will be available as well. So we will connect you with a coach or a couple coaches based on what your needs are. And thank you for answering these poll questions as they're popping up. We're really appreciate you guys. Okay, so all of our events are listed on our event schedule website. We have events every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And next week, Jeff Wollinger is going to do Know Your Story, Tell Your Story, Sell Your Story, because connections are so important, and being able to connect with somebody you're interviewing with, you want to be able to tell the story, tell your story, your expertise, being able to share that. So that's next Wednesday. Dexcom is one of the hiring companies right now. August 5th, we have Ready, Reset, Go, and Finding the Right Career. Wade Thomas has a career focused podcast, and he is going to come in and speak. I love the word reset. I feel like we're in the great reset right now. And so it's giving us all time to really think about what our futures look like. And so take this time to really think through and reset for yourself what it looks like for you. So that's on August 5th. And then August 12th, we're going beyond the elevator speech. So we're talking about how to network, how to engage, conversation again. So those are the companies. On Monday mornings, we send out an email message, an e-update that has the events for the week, and we'll have the updated hiring companies as well. And so please check your email and register for our events that way. Now, on this next slide here, these are the different ways that we are trying to connect with you guys. So we've talked about the webinar being posted later. So this is our homepage, careerconnectors.org. If you look on the right side, it says CC Webinars.
I'm not sure if Jessica froze for everyone, but she froze for me. Can you nod your head if, yeah. So she was explaining on our website, there's the 3 different areas. Career Chat with Jessica is these short little 2 or 3 minutes videos she's been doing a couple of times a week just to get information out. The community updates are interviews that she's done with different people. Early on, she did one with the person in charge of unemployment insurance. She's talked to people at Chambers, the City of Phoenix Economic Development Manager. So those are more maybe 20, 30-minute interviews. We've also done resume panels and LinkedIn panels. And then the third one is where you'll find the recording of the event we're in right now, the CC webinar. So that's where later today you can find today's event if you missed something. Okay, we could not do what we do without our amazing team of volunteers. So I just want to give a big shout out to Sherry and Michelle. They've been helping in the background here on Zoom, and Kitty is recapping. I know Michelle's going to help with the recap as well. So that is awesome. We partner with the Resume Writers Council of Arizona to get our resume writer coaches, and we so appreciate their expertise. And there are many, many other coaches that help us make that virtual coaching available right now. So thank you. Okay, something is wrong, fix it now, but train yourself not to worry. Worry fixes nothing. Yeah, so we are all pulling for you that you land in the career of your dream. Thanks for being here. See you next time.